Oh my gosh, it's a competitive situation. I found the house of my dreams and I don't know what to do or how to win it. Have you heard that before? I certainly have during this market. And I appreciate you for tuning in for this. And we're going to be talking about tactics of ways to win a house during a multiple offer situation. So many people do all sorts of things and tactics in different, essentially, techniques for you to buy a home and to try to secure it. In my opinion, it comes down to a few tactical pieces that you can do. First and foremost is your realtor needs to be able to build rapport with the other agent. You need to be able to have as much information coming to you as possible so that you can make those educated decisions and potential sacrifices to win that house. So some of those sacrifices, and all of these again are by no means requirements. These are just mere suggestions and potential edges you can give yourself to potentially be more competitive and or a stronger offer. Since I do work sellers as well as buyers, I'm constantly evaluating both sides, right? And these are the feedback that I get from my sellers as well. So first and foremost would be a lender has called the other agent. So having your lender or your loan officer call another agent, being able to solidify how strong your financials are is huge. And part of that then says, wow, these people are really put together and they're going to close on this house. Another item is your EMD, your earnest money deposit. Now, this is like the security deposit on a lease. However, it's the weight of a contract. Sometimes the more money you put on that, the more serious agents see and feel that you're being with that offer. And that's more you're putting on the line if something was to blow up or if you were to get cold feet. Then that's the contemplation in the what potentially could be the recourse to the seller if you don't follow through. Now, we all know in this market, we can close within 15 to 18 days. The odds of that happening are very small. So it could be a decision that you feel fits for you. Now, the other one is talking about contingencies. We've talked about contingencies before, and what that is that we could be removing of contingencies. These are the things that are going to be potential hangups or exposure points for the seller to be able to have a buyer walk away and take that deposit with them. The financing, appraisal, and home inspection are the three most common contingencies. So the ways that you can go around that is getting pre-approved before you put that offer in. That can then validate the financing contingency for that window of time, making sure that that lender knows everything about what's going on in your scenario and says comfortably, we're in good shape. Another one for the appraisal is there's opportunity for appraisal waivers. If you're putting over 20% down, you can get an appraisal waiver potentially given the house where they can pretty much put it in and say you don't need an appraisal, which could wipe that contingency as well, saying that, you know, it's within the range and they feel comfortable at that point. And the last one is a home inspection. Now, this is the biggest one for me as I really like home inspections for my clients because it's the way that you get to know the workings of the home and making sure there's nothing really wrong with it to a grand scale. So the way that you can get around that is by doing pre-inspections. Now, we talked about this as well, where a pre-inspection is you can go through before putting the offer in. Yes, it does cost around $500, so it's not a drop in the bucket. However, versus an average home sales price in our area of anywhere between $600,000 to $800,000, $500 is not a huge deal to make sure it's something that you really feel strongly about to potentially then waive that. So those are some other of the tactics, and then there's other things like putting an escalation clause, which allows you to elevate your offer based on just like an eBay bid, where if somebody bids 500 and you've got an escalation up to 550 with 5,000 increments, it'll automatically bump you up. Some agents don't accept that, so that goes back to your other agent being able to solidify what that is and what they accept in that offer. You don't want to exile yourself. So there's many of other things that you can do, but I think it really does come down to those tactics as far as the lowest contingencies, the highest price, the rapport you build with the other agent, the lender calling, strong EMD, and then being able to just have something where it's a strong and even offer for the seller that they say, you know what, this is the one. So thanks for tuning in, appreciate it, and hope you found this valuable. Please subscribe when you get the chance.